It's from the BBC News Health. The coronavirus, the SARS-like virus death report in the UK by James Gallagher. Says a patient infected with a new respiratory illness similar to the deadly SARS virus has died in the UK. So he was being treated at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Birmingham and died on Sunday morning. The hospital has confirmed. Of the 12 people known to have been affected with the virus around the world, 6 have died. The threat to the general population is thought to be small, although the virus has shown signs of spreading in people. 3 members of the same family have been infected with the virus in the UK, as well as another patient who has flown in from Qatar for treatment. It is thought one family member picked up the virus while traveling to the Middle East and Pakistan, and then the virus spread to his son and another family member. The son who died had a weakened immune system, which would have left him more vulnerable to the infection. The hospital said it extended its sympathies to the family. It was working with health protection agencies to test other people who may have come in contact with the virus. The infection causes what they say pneumonia and sometimes kidney failure. The exact source of the new virus and how it spreads is still unknown. The leading theory is that it comes from animals, and the new SARS-like virus does appear to be closely related to virus in bats.
That's it. Right. So we know what that's about. The Lord is bringing out all these viruses and plagues out, and He used them through the so-called white man. That's why they always got to say it's unknown or it came from some type of animal. The same lie has been pushed when a new virus comes out all the time. Okay, I got a scripture. This is Ezra, 2nd Ezra 16, and I'm gonna start from 1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourself with clothes of sack and hair. Bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? Right, so the Lord is sending all these plagues all over the globe of the world. Okay, that's part of the Lord's judgment, just like He did in Egypt. Okay, and that's what's happening to everybody. Is all these plagues and sicknesses and diseases. It says, verse 6, may any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire and stubble when it had begun to burn? Basically giving like who can turn back the wrath of the Lord. Can't nobody turn back a sword from coming at you. You can't unquench a fire that the Lord starts from the chariots, or either a civil war or a race riot. So you ain't gonna be able to turn back these plagues that the Lord is basically pushing out. Okay, because that's what's going on. Nothing but we live in a time of nothing but death, famine, destruction, and sorrow. Okay. With that being said, I'm gonna jump to verse 18. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 18. And the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. Right, the powers that's not going to stand in fear is talking about the elites, the ones who's controlling this society. They're going to be in fear because they know that the plague that the Lord promised and declared through this book is basically flourishing out now today. Okay? It says, the beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Right, and this is Most High talking as like, what can He do? Because He's the one who's sending them. So that's what's going on. Verse 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Right. See, they ain't going to turn back and pay back the Lord's people of everything that they stole from. Saudi Arabia had a lot to do with it. Okay, they got our garments, they got the resources and stuff that that the Lord gave us, because they're part of the UN. Everybody who's a part of the UN had some type of
hand in
hand in taking us down. So that's why all this stuff is going on all over the globe, and the Lord is getting them back for it. Listen.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 49. It says, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence.
See? Like, I can do that one go.
To wake thy houses with destruction and death.
Yeah, see? Destruction,
and death, right?
missiles, death. That's this. This what kill you.
And the glory of thy power shall be dried as a flower.
Right. What's the glory of thy power? They being able to shoot them missiles down, and they scientists being able to quarantine and vaccinate people from this. That ain't going to be able to happen. You ain't going to be able to send your scientists to stop these diseases because they got a vaccine.
It says,
Cuz you about to come over here and do this, because I got to take Cuz right now.
Okay.
Tell him I'm ready too.
it says, and the glory of thy power shall be dried as a flower when the heat shall arise that is sent over thee.
Yeah.
Thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes,
Yeah.
and as one chastised with wounds.
Right, so you're gonna look like one of them old ass Khazari and fucking Edomite white woman talking about they Jews and shit. You know they ugly as hell, them big ass nose. You don't look like that.
And if you think about it, the Most High is, he's portraying a perfect war. This is the perfect warfare. Because you weaken the enemy before you entirely take him out. It's like he's playing with America, so to speak. Playing with the world, so to speak.
Right. That's cool. That's cool. And that's exactly what he's doing. You're right. He playing with the world. He's systematically breaking you down.
Mm-hmm.
Interior, outside. He hitting you. He messing this place up. He messing the psychic up of this place. He messing the interior, the concrete, all that. The people are playing with diseases.
Yep.
Like the brother said, he's breaking this place down systematically.
So really, there's no way that the Lord can be exalted as this is happening.
Exactly.
You see the prophecies coming to pass piece by
Exactly.
piece, step by step.
Exactly. And that's why that one you read and so forth, now you be able to read that behind that. I have to still squeeze it in, but it'll go though. It'll go because how he just bridged it.
It says, so that the mighty and lovers shall not be able to receive thee. And that's what's going to happen. Because all the other nations are going to say, is this the man that made the earth to tremble? They're going to say, this is America who took us down, who gave us his philosophy, who convinced us that his way is right.
Right. And that's how they going to be feeling too.
It says, what I with jealousy have so proceeded against thee, saith the Lord, that thou hast not always slain my chosen. See, the Lord wouldn't even have a problem with America. They wouldn't keep prosecuting the children of Israel.
Yep.
It says, exalted the stroke of thine hands, and sang over their dead when thou wast drunken. Set forth the beauty of thy countenance. So they was mocking us in the atrocities that they was doing to us. Just like it says in Zechariah 11:5, that they forward the affliction. It says, the reward of thy whoredom shall be in thy bosom. Therefore shalt thou receive recompense.
And this is one of them. This is a small glimpse of your recompense. Because we got a whole 3 hours of recompense coming.
Thy children shall die of hunger,
Right?
and thou shalt fail through the sword. The city shall be broken down,
Right?
and all of thine shall perish with the sword in the field.
Contagion. After this, on a massive scale with no vaccine,
Yep.
the movie Contagion should start coming to your mind now.
Pandemic is worldwide, and epidemic
Epidemic.
is
Yeah, I would
within
mind
the
if I helped you.
A pandemic is
Pan meaning all the people.
pain.
Ep- exactly.
We're okay. Yeah, pandemic.
an epidemic is just,
Local.
It says, they that be in the mountains shall die of hunger, and eat of their own flesh.
The movie The Road.
Yep.
Did you hear that, Polite? People shall eat their own flesh. Check that out.
He got to taste it to believe it.
and eat their own flesh and drink their own blood, for very hunger of bread and thirst of water.
Yep.
Thou as unhappy shalt come through the sea and receive plagues again.
You can keep going.
One of y'all got the Psalms 91. The 1,000 shall fall to thy right and to the left. That's up to y'all.
Yeah, that's,
No,
It's pestilence on that too.
When you go in, when you go down farther, it's like the pestilence. Because you can use it for twofold.
yeah. And the pestilence that comes at noonday.
Yeah, because you can use them for twofold. I think the bar. Go ahead. 'Cause I think the bar uses it.
It's Psalm chapter 91. I'll start at I start at 5. This is thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that fly by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor
That's the disease. Can't see it.
nor for the destruction that wasted at noonday.
You got to give to them how they is, and they ain't even. No, you keep
Oh,
going.
It says 1,000
They ain't even
shall
gotta-
fall at
they
thy
come
side,
in,
and
they
10,000
just
at thy
put 5 or
right
6
hand.
Right, because everybody the Lord gonna have was set up that a lot of people gonna catch these diseases and just start dropping dead. That's why he said walketh in darkness, because ain't nobody gonna know where it came from.
This is but it should not come nigh thee.
Right, unto the Lord's elect, the ones that's doing this work.
It says only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked.
Right, and the Lord said that's their reward. Their reward is to catch pestilence, which is diseases, and die from it. Because they didn't want to come out there and prophesy on the highways and byways like they were supposed to do. They didn't want to take on their nationality as being a Hebrew Israelite and follow them law, statutes, and commandments.
Because I was going to show how not only
And proclaim the name of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua.
you break it down, but why is it? Because it's the
That's it?
hard
Yeah,
iron,
that's
hard clay.
Okay.
That's why it'll be falling like that. No, who is that finna get downgraded?
This is next article from Moody's.com. It says Moody's Investor Service rating action. Moody's downgrades UK's government bond rating to a AA from a AAA. Outlook is now stable. London, February 22nd, 2013. Moody's Investor Service has today downgraded the domestic and foreign currency government bond ratings of the United Kingdom by 1 notch to a AA from a AAA.
And see, that's very important because the number one currency standard money is the United States. The second that follow is the Euro pound. So this is, the UK pound. So this is very important.
The outlook on the ratings is now stable. The key interrelated drivers of today's action are, number one, the continuing weaknesses in the UK's medium-term growth outlook, with a period of sluggish growth, which Moody's now expects will extend into the second half of the decade. Number two, the challenges that subdued medium-term growth prospects pose to the government's fiscal consolidation program, which will now extend well into the next parliament. Number three, as a consequence of the UK's high and rising debt burden, a deterioration in the shock absorption capacity of the government's balance sheet was unlikely to reverse before 2016. So basically, it's the article telling you that the UK is being downgraded because of their debt system that is owed, and it's all because of the United States. Because like the brother just said, the dollar is the first reserve currency, and the second is the pound. And the dollar and the pound are connected, just off of how Britain and the United States are connected by themselves. So their two currencies are interchangeable. So one falls in the default, the other falls in the default. That's why the UK just got downgraded like it did.
That's it on that one?
If you want me to read more, I can read some.
Well, let me bring the scripture in first. This is Daniel 2:40. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces, and subdueth all things, as of iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise.
Right, that was the Roman Empire back then.
No, so let me go to, yeah, go ahead, brother, go ahead.
That was the Roman Empire back then. Now, today, it's NATO and the EU,
Yep.
which went through and conquered all nations and set up a reserve currency for the world.
Yep. Okay, it says, verse 41, And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron.
All right, meaning they're partly weak and partly strong.
Yep.
Some of the nation's economies are going to be strong. Some of the nation's economies are going to be weak.
That's what.
Germany and Greece, for example.
Germany is strong, Greece is weak.
Yep,
Exactly.
that's what I was gonna say. Yep, Germany's strong. Greece is weak. That's why they be having. That's why. What they going through now is they trying to stimulate. They trying to get those stimulative packages over there now. It was for America as well, the QE 1s, 2s, and 3s, but they got the system set up where they trying to apply it to them as well, because everything is being devalued, being switched, being cankered, okay, and that's nothing. That's the scriptures. That the part toes and part clay.
Right, that's the prophecy come to pass.
Yep. It's a where did I leave off? Okay, and whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as they sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And that's talking about Germany and America and all those other European nations. Verse 43. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay.
Yeah. That's them trying to bring their economies back together.
Yep.
Just like the EU was trying to get Germany
Yep.
to throw in some of its currency and pump its currency into the EU, to the euro,
Yep.
to pump Greece back up and the rest of Europe back up, but that's not going to work. Matter of fact, Germany said that they're not keeping the EU afloat anymore.
Yep. That's it on that article.
I can keep on going too. It's just a little bit.
Yeah, just read just a little, one more little link of it. And then we'll switch.
It says, at the same time, Moody's explains that the UK's credit worthiness remains extremely high, rated at AA because of the country's significant credit strengths. These include highly competitive, well-diverse economy, a strong track record of fiscal consolidation, and a robust institute structure, and a favorable debt structure with supported domestic demand for government debt, the longest average maturity structure in 15 years among all highly rated sovereigns globally, and resulting reduced interest rate risk on the UK debt. And the only reason, so basically this passage is telling you the only reason why the UK hasn't been downgraded further is because of its economic and military prowess throughout the years. The UK, or Britain, was the first nation among America and French and Spain to actually go conquer the known land, and they don't need any assistance from any other country. That's the only reason why they haven't been downgraded further. But soon to follow America, like all currencies is going to happen. Their rate is going to go down to a AA and soon to 0.
What's the next one?
It's the next article from the ABC News. It says, Chicago passes sexual education for kindergartners. It says, while most U.S. public schools start sex education in the 5th grade, sex education will be coming to Chicago kindergartners within 2 years as part of overhaul of the Chicago Public Schools Sexual Health Program. Slaki, this article was written February 28, 2013. It says the new policy, which was the Chicago Board of Education passed Wednesday, mandates that a set amount of time be spent on sex education in every grade, beginning in kindergarten. Chicago has the 3rd largest public school system in the country, with 431,000 students. It is important that we provide students of all ages with accurate and appropriate information so they can make healthy choices in regards to their social interactions, behaviors, and relationships.
Right, now, it says they in kindergarten. What the hell is a 5-year-old gonna know anything about goddamn sex? Okay, they just what all they doing is they putting the thoughts in the kid's head at a young age to go and lust. That's all it's about, going lust, go commit adultery.
Put spirits on the kids.
Right, put the lustful spirits on the kids. at an early age. That's why you hear Billy got caught kissing, or something was on the news maybe like 3 weeks ago. It was a 5-year-old girl giving head to a little white boy, or some mess like that. A 5-year-old Judite, 5 years old, giving head to another, like a little 6-year-old or something like that, and the little white boy told. This is why they pushing this out, for things like this to come out. All of it is, just a setup, basically. You got something in there?
And that's how they make black kids look bad in the media. Black people, well, Israelites as a whole.
Paradigm shift in education.
Yeah, go ahead.
They be doing
This is from the book, The Tavistock Institute of Human Relations.
You say
This is chapter 11, titled The Paradigm Shift in Education. It says, during the 1970s, a dramatic paradigm shift in school curricula at all levels came into effect, apparently to the point that students were awarded school credits for courses in civics instead of reading, writing, and arithmetic. An epidemic of casual sex and drug taking overwhelmed school-aged teens and swept over the entire country. It says the time has come to move from thinking and dialogue to action. This conference will become the launching pad for that important action to occur in the 1980s. So basically, they launched a campaign, a propaganda campaign, to switch education from formal classes to social
sex ed.
Yeah, sex ed and
Sex
social
ed,
classes.
Gym.
Yep.
What other class that don't mean nothing?
Art.
Okay, art.
I don't even remember.
And when you get into the health class and all that stuff, they teach you about they teach you about the body parts and all that. But that's only to make people lust after it, make the kids lust after it. Okay, because that's what happens when you see a woman's, all of that. When you're at a young age, you're gonna want to know more, look at it more. When you see a girl, you're gonna try to look at it and spot it. There go that sexual harassment. There go the kids being deemed as pedophiles at a young age.
And their theory now is, well, since the kids are starting to have sex at a more and more younger age, and we might as well teach sex education in kindergarten. But if you wouldn't portray your propaganda on the television, on the movies, and push your drugs and sexuality in society, starting with the teenagers, then their younger brothers and sisters or cousins won't learn about sex at an early age.
That's Satan planting the seed.
Exactly.
That's it. There you go.
I got a scripture.
Yeah. Okay.
This is 2 Peter.
Excuse me.
Chapter 2, verse 18. It say, for when they speak great swelling words of vanity, they are lured through the lust of the flesh.
Yep.
Though much wantonness, those that were clean escape from them who live in error. So the lust of the flesh. So this speaks about this society we're living in, man, based on sex, man. That's why they're teaching these kids how to have sex from early age and how to wear condoms and all that shit. And also the music they bringing out got something to do with sex too.
Yeah.
That's why these kids' mind is bugged out.
That's how you get the whole lust of the flesh. The lust of the flesh. Look at me. This whole demon. Demon yourself up in this type of position or whatever. But that's it.
Yeah.
You got a scripture you roll out?
Oh, no.
That's it.
This is the next article from TheGuardian.com. Mali braced for food shortages as conflict leaves a mark. Foreign intervention forced out Islamist rebels, but the war has brought instability, huge displacement, and rising food prices.
Right. See, they go your inflation, and then they go your food shortage. That's what's going to happen more and more on a wider scale in America. It's everything. A lot of articles we got is talking about food shortages and famines. Okay, and what's going to happen with a famine or a death? I mean, with famine, you have death, or you have cannibalism, and that's coming back. Okay, because of lack of food, if you want to get that in Second Ezra, 15th chapter, yeah, it should be at the last verse. Let me see. 15 and
15.
Start at 57.
57.
Con.
This is Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 57. It says, "Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy city shall be broken down, and all thy shall perish with the sword in the field."
Yeah, so that's that's getting more. That's going to be really more into when after martial law hit, and then a massive scale of famine. But you can use it in this case is because it's lack of food. That's part of your famine happening. Okay, famine means to be hungry. So that's exactly what's going on right here. Where's that at?
Mali.
That's in Mali.
Yeah.
Okay. So right, so that's the kids is gonna be lacking the food, and they're gonna die of hunger. That's that proving that scripture, and that's actually gonna happen in a broader and wider scale in America. Okay. Read a little bit more of it.
All right, verse 58 says, "They that be in the mountains shall die of hunger, and eat their own flesh."
Right, that is your cannibalism, like I was just saying. See, when shortage of food and inflation happen, it don't even have to be on a 100 massive scale. Why? Because we already got reports saying that cannibalism is already going on. Okay, and we're not even in the dead or famine in America. And in America now today you have cannibalism. Go ahead.
"And drink their own blood, for very hunger of bread and thirst of water."
Yeah, so them people in Mali thirsting of water. Okay, and over there in Africa they thirst of water. Hell, even over here in America you thirsting of water. It was reported this year that I think it was 2011 though, that a homeless Judite woman snatched the baby and tried to eat the face off.
Yeah.
She's basically gonna die of hunger. That's it. We want to go into it more.
This is written Monday, April 29, 2013.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "On the banks of the river Niger, at the Koriame port, 18 kilometers or 11 miles from Timbuktu, Kaja Fune Konenta."
And Timbuktu, we know that who if that's in that area.
Timbuktu, yeah.
Right, and that's in that area because the Nigerians over there is Israelites. Okay, because we set up our dynasty in Timbuktu. But go ahead.
Kaja Fune Konenta recounts the birth of her daughter.
You ain't stopping us.
It was during the occupation of northern Mali by the Islamist rebels.
That's it. We ain't gotta go into that. Let's go into F-35 fighter jets. F-35 fighter jets have stealth capability. So yeah, so basically, man, we just finna just give you a more update, going through all the articles of 2013, cause man, Lord's willing, 2014 this year gonna be over with, cause all the prophecies has been banging for the last couple of years, ever since 9/11 on down today, the prophecies has been speeding up more and more. Go ahead.
It says,
Stealth capability? Okay.
It says South Korea to buy 40 fighter jets with stealth capabilities. This is from Bloomberg.com.
It's opened up.
It says South Korean military leaders recommend purchasing 40 fighter jets with stealth capabilities and indicated Lockheed Martin Corp.
Yep.
F-35 provided the best defense against North Korea's growing nuclear threat.
Right, and that stealth is gonna be used to strike the people. It's already striking the people over there, and you heard reports of China being struck by those jets. Well, it was really those drones, and even in America, people was getting struck. Go ahead.
It says, the Joint Chiefs of Staff didn't specifically name the Lockheed jet as the winner of the multi-billion-dollar order in its statement. Though an F-35 is the only aircraft that fits requirements set by the military, Defense Ministry spokesman Kim Min-sok told journalists in Seoul today. Says the original tender process, which began almost 2 years ago, bogged down following the reaction of the Boeing company's F-15 Silent Eagle, as defense priorities shifted after the North launched long-range rockets and tested a third nuclear device.
Okay, you're gonna get this one. New clash erupt in Baghdad, 40 killed. Where you get that one?
Right, they making all their new technology stealths and their new technology fighter jets, and it's only going to be used against the people. That's why they making them, and it's already being used against the people nowadays. So we're going to go into another one. 40 killed. Yep. No, that's I said Baghdad. You want to give me commotions? That's